All right, so our first example is going to be the chord-chord angle. So one thing, just to make sure, if you guys see this little right here, at first I thought it was a degree symbol in the wrong spot. That's just the center of your circle. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in because that's how I like that to look a little bit better. So that's the center of your circle. You can see we have two chords. So there's your chord-chord, and it does form four angles, and we're going to be able to find the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2. So if you remember, we can find the measure of an angle with a chord-chord example. I'm going to abbreviate a little bit. The angle is going to be equal to half of the sum. So remember, if the angle's on the inside of the circle, we find the sum of the arcs. All right, so let's look at the arc measures. We can see that we have 81 right here, and then across from it we have this 107. So if we use those two arcs, we're going to be able to find the measure of angle 1. Do you guys see how those all go together? Angle 2 would have to deal with these arcs out here that we don't know the measures of. All right, so our angle 1 is equal to 1/2 times the sum of the arcs. So we're going to take the 81 plus 107 and then just do the math to figure out what that is. So 81 plus 107 is 188, and then half of 188 is 94. So angle 1 is equal to 94 degrees. So there's our first answer. I'll go ahead and write that in. That's 94 degrees. So do we have a way of getting angle 2? Well, we don't have enough information to figure out what these two arcs are to use the same math to find half of the sum of the arcs. But what we do know is that we have two lines that are crossing. Remember, anytime, well, actually, just we'll focus on this straight line right here. If you have a straight line, remember the two angles are going to add up to 180 degrees. So all we have to do to find angle 2 is going to be equal to 180 degrees, and we'll subtract out the 94. And so angle 2 is equal to, well, the measure of angle 2, let me be a little bit more accurate, 86 degrees. So what you want to make sure you remember on these is if, I don't know if you can hear my dog breathing over there, if the vertex of your angles is on the inside of the circle, we are going to find the sum. That's when you add in the problem.